First of all, thank you for calling because in this moment of your career, I know you don't need to do an interview to sell out a show.
Oh, we do this all the time.
So, it's great that, you're doing this for us.
We always do.
Excuse me for a second. Millo,
Okay.
I'm in the phone right now, okay?
It's okay?
Bye. Yes, okay. Eddie, how everything started, Why music? Why you chose music of being a way of your life,
I just kind of fell into it. My earliest memories in life was other practicing.
Uh-huh.
My father was a musician.
Okay.
And so my very earliest memories as a child was of my father sitting in his music room practicing his clarinet.
Okay.
And then at the age of 6, Alex and I were born in Amsterdam, Holland.
Okay.
And we both started at the age of 6 to be trained as classical pianists.
So it was pretty much very natural for you to get in the business.
Well, I don't really consider myself being in the business. I'm in the business of making music, not in the music business.
That's great because the business right now is so terrible,
Excuse my French, but the business
it's fucked up.
It's fucked.
Yeah, definitely.
It's always been that way. It will always be that way. And, basically all a record company is a distribution thing.
Yes. And I think, that the people now in the business are not for the passion like it started in the early days, They're much for the fan thing and, not for the real purpose,
It's all about greed. It's all money.
It's incredible that, I'm hearing this from you. It's great.
Well, I've been in the business. I've been in it so long.
Yes.
Well, I know everything, It's like, put it this way, music is almost secondary.
Exactly. So how many CDs you sell and what image to put in and etc.
Exactly. And that's the thing is Van Halen has no image.
That's great.
We just make music, and that's why 20 years later we're still here, because
exactly. That's awesome.
We are musicians and not rock stars. We don't follow trends. We don't set trends. We just make music.
Oh man, I wish I could put this in the radio right now. How was who was your best or your biggest influence? Because
in the very beginning, so I started out playing piano when I was 6. Then we moved to the United States when I was 7 years old.
Piano because that was your dad. That's what he was playing, right?
Well, no. He actually played on the boat on the way over here.
Okay.
And we showed up with 75 guilders, which is Dutch money, and a piano.
Damn.
And we had to start from nothing.
That's okay. So, when music starting to get serious, because maybe first it was about,
Well, let me back up just a little bit. I just want to say that
okay.
My first instrument was piano, and then when the Beatles came out and a Dave Clark 5, when rock and roll took the English invasion, I bought myself a drum set.
Okay.
And I started playing drums. Well, and my mom and dad, or actually my mom, convinced Alex to take flamenco guitar lessons.
Okay.
But while I had a paper route to pay for my drum set, because my parents couldn't afford it, so while I was out throwing the papers, Alex was playing my drums, and he got better than I did.
Okay.
So I said, okay, take my damn drums, I'll play guitar. Guitar is actually my third instrument, and it was never a dream for me or ever a fleeting thought. I never even imagined playing guitar, but it just so happened that I got stuck with it, and it came very natural to me, as drums did for Alex, and now I'm actually very much into playing cello.
Wow, you're very sensitive. I didn't know you were gonna be like this. It's great.
I play a lot of different instruments, but and guitar is actually my third instrument. Piano is my main instrument.
Eddie, why you fall in love with the guitar? What you liked about it that it was so natural for you?
Well, I was forced to because Alex took my drums.
Okay, but when you start playing the guitar, even if you were forced, maybe you weren't gonna be that good at it. Why you liked it so much?
Well, I think that if you focus on something and you really put your heart and soul into it, you can be good at anything you want to be.
Okay. When you did your first band, how because at the end, you start realizing that you have to live out of something. So then,
Yeah.
in a way, I don't like to say the word business because you told me why, and that's clear.
I understand what you're saying.
When you get into it, say, well, let's make money out of this,
Well, it was my father's life. That's how we made ends meet. He had 3-4 jobs. He was a janitor. He was a professional musician, but he was a janitor and stuff when we came to America because we couldn't speak English.
Uh-huh.
So we were like Latinos.
Yes.
We were a minority.
Yeah.
So music saved us. My father was able to play on the weekends and make money.
Okay.
So we used to play with him also.
Okay.
I would play bass, Alex would play drums, and just slowly, by the time we got to graduating high school and everyone went off to college, well, we didn't have the money to go to college. So we just kept on making music, and it's the only thing we knew how to do.
That's great, and that's why you are what you are right now.
Well, and I am no different than when we started. Money is only, it's easy for me to say, but believe me, money does not buy happiness.
Man,
it
awesome.
really doesn't, because money is only, as long as I can take care of my family and my friends, and, money is really to help people, people who are greedy and want more, It's like, how much money do you need to eat and to live,
Yeah, it's true. Once you cover the necessities, the rest,
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
For a while, yeah, I bought a bunch of cars and stuff, and, well, I never even drive them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean, man. That's great, That's, what makes me happy, too, is to sit around and just, have good laughs with good friends, and family number one,
And what I do with all the money that I do make, I put right back into my recording studio to keep it up to date, to have the latest technology and to have the best machines and stuff,
After talking to you for a couple minutes, I can see easy why, Dave left and all that shit. I don't even want to talk about it, because I'm respecting you too much right now,
Because they're rock stars and they're business people,
yeah.
And I'm not.
I think that once he saw MTV,
yeah,
he saw himself in that screen doing what he did for only 2 videos,
Yeah.
And he forgot that music is what made him be there.
Yeah.
And that's the truth,
Yeah.
Anybody can do that with a band like what you guys are doing,
Yeah.
Okay, how long did it took for Van Halen to get signed, with Warner Brothers? How long was the small venues playing?
We played for a good 7 years.
7 years?
Yeah, because the big thing was punk and disco.
Exactly.
And rock and roll.
Exactly. So, you got desperate in any moment? How many demos you gave to...
We never gave up because we believed in ourselves, and we really... just took it straight to the people,
Yeah, you were playing live in small venues, and that, filled you up a lot, so...
Yes. And slowly, after we started, I guess around 73, 74, and finally got signed in 77,
Okay, and, when you started, how many original songs, how many covers you were playing?
Oh, we had a repertoire of probably about 200 songs.
200 songs, all of them originals?
Oh, no. I mean, in the club days, we used to have to play the top 40 stuff,
Yeah.
But let me see. When we got signed to Warner Brothers, the very first tape that we did was 25 songs.
Okay.
Out of that, we picked our first record.
Okay. From the 25, you picked 10.
Well, however many are on the first record.
Yeah, whatever. Exactly. Okay.
A long time ago.
Yes. Okay.
But, the good thing is, now that Gary's in the band, he is also very much like me. He actually lives with me.
Okay.
Lives in the guest house with Valerie, Wolfgang, and I. And he's very passionate about music and knows nothing about the business, doesn't care. It's all about the music,
That's great.
And we're playing stuff off the first record, the second record. We're playing stuff that Sammy would never sing.
Okay, I understand. What was your first big show? Who did you open for? Your first big concert that you step in a big sound system. I know how important that is for you.
Well, our first tour, our first legitimate tour, was opening for Ronnie Montrose, who was doing his instrumental solo tour.
Okay.
And Journey was headlining.
So you came before Ronnie Montrose?
Yeah, it was us first, then Ronnie Montrose, and then Journey.
Okay. And And from all the years, what is your most memorable, the best concert you ever played? The one you never forget. Maybe because the amount of people, maybe because how loud it was, or maybe because...
Probably the first time that we played, it was always a dream for us to play the Los Angeles Forum.
Okay, because that's where you started in America, right?
Well, that was the place that Alex and I would always go see concerts.
Okay, that's great. So
that's where we saw Grand Funk and Black Sabbath and all the bands.
Oh,
and then
shit,
also,
man.
after Ronnie Montrose and Journey, we toured with Black Sabbath for almost a year.
Really, with Ozzy Osbourne?
Yes.
Was he cool?
Oh, he's great. He's still a great friend. So is Tony Iommi and Geezer and Bill Ward. They're all great guys.
That's great. Where were you, Eddie, physically and mentally when the first Woodstock, Where were you at? You were in England still? In Holland, I mean?
No, I was in America.
Do you went to Woodstock?
No, I didn't go. I was too young.
Too young? How old were you in those days? Like 8, something like that?
Probably, maybe around 10.
Okay, what's up with the second Woodstock? Why didn't you guys go? They didn't offer you? Maybe you were too expensive for second Woodstock?
No. It wasn't about that at all. It was just we already had our tour booked.
Okay, so you couldn't get a date in there?
We couldn't make it.
Okay, what's up with Santana? He's a very big musician for Latins. He's the only Latin.
Also a very good friend.
He is a very good friend.
Yes.
That's great. He's really into music. I managed this band, and we went to the Bob Marley Fest, and we got lucky, and we played his music for him.
Right.
He came down without a band.
Right.
And we met at the press conference, and he said, let's go jam, I need a band, because we were very, Millo, which is the one that just called, is very influenced by him. So we went in the studio, and he loved our tightness, and he chose us to play with him, so it was incredible. And Santana, we went into the van, like at 8 o'clock at night, and we thought he was going to start talking about, okay, we're going to do this and do that. He didn't even talk about the songs. He just talked about, he made it so easy, he was just being cool and just...
Carlos is a great man.
Great guy, man. He really impressed me. And he was about music. He was changing CDs for hours, making me hear us Indian music, shit like that,
Very good friend also.
That's great. Eddie, what's up with, like, before a show? Do you have any routine you do, anything you do every time you go to a show? Do you do the same thing every time? Do you do anything specifically, or?
Yes, I stretch because I have a bad hip, and I haven't had the operation yet, but because I need a new hip.
Okay.
But I haven't done it yet. I'm putting it off until the last, until it just collapses on me.
Okay. So you crash how many hours? Like before the show?
Oh, I just play for about an hour, half an hour or so, just to loosen up a little bit. But it's more. Oh, hold on one second. Yeah, it's open. Just a 3 guys. Just a 3, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, I just see. I don't really consider it practicing. I just sit and play.
Oh, I thought when you say you crash, it's that you sleep before the show.
Oh, no, I stretch.
A stretch?
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. And how long does it take to do sound check before a big show?
Oh, we just do one song.
One song?
Yeah.
Boom, and that's it?
Yeah.
That's great. You have the same engineer for years, right?
No, see, the thing is, when you play an empty building, it sounds one way, then people come in, it sounds different anyway. So sound check is almost useless.
Okay, that's great.
Sound check is actually more for just to check to make sure your equipment is working.
Okay, your amplifiers and stuff.
Yeah, and also to make sure that the crew guys are awake.
Okay. Eddie, what do you think of MTV 1982? How MTV changed the business, Instead of being music, it was music and visual things,
Yeah, I think it kind of blows the image of... It's the difference between reading a book and seeing a movie.
That's a good analogy, yes.
Know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, because I think they fucked up the magic of it,
Yeah.
Of hearing you in the radio, and then I want to see Eddie perform, and then you see it, it's like, damn, but once you see the video over and over, it takes all the magic away,
Yeah, exactly. It's like reading a book as opposed to seeing the movie. When you read a book, you use your own imagination.
So in 82, it did bad to the business, I think, after 3 years. And then in the 90s, it really fucked up the business, right?
It's just getting worse and worse, you know. But that's the American way, I guess. I don't know.
I think that you are lucky that you came in a time where, you know, nobody's gonna have the. It's never gonna be like that again, you know.
You know.
So many bands coming out, they do an album, they do one song, you know, like the one-hit wonders, like the movie, you know. And
hold on 1 second, okay?
Yes, sir. Eddie, right after MTV, that the business got affected. I think that it came the alternative movement, you know, Nirvana, Pearl Jam.
In the same way, I don't think MTV is a bad thing. It's just a different. It's just another avenue of exposure, you know. But
definitely.
It's the way that bands use it that, I don't know, in the business, it's almost like rock and roll bands or whatever you want to. See, to me, all music is just rock and roll, you know?
Yeah.
Whether it's rap or grunge or alternative or whatever you want to call it, it's just music, you know?
Yeah, but I think that is so powerful that then the radio people go for that, you know?
Well, yeah. What happens is if one record company gets, say, a Nirvana or a Pearl Jam, well, then everybody wants one.
Exactly. What do you think about that? About, you know, having Nirvana come out with no solo guitars, you know? And
Pardon?
You know, when.
Oh, yeah.
What about that? What about the alternative movement? You know, they come out.
I think it's because they couldn't.
Exactly. I interviewed Steve Vai when he came to Puerto Rico, and that's exactly what he said. He said, a young kid is coming up, being a musician. You know, it's so hard to think he ever gonna play like Eddie or like, you know, Eric Clapton, whatever. So they say, fuck these solos, man. Let's just play it.
Yeah, but if they last, they end up soloing.
Exactly.
If they because in the beginning, hey, you know, I mean, it's like punk, grunge, you know, it's all, it goes in cycles, you know, it's like every 10, 15 years it all breaks down to nothing, you know?
Yes.
And it's all garage bands, basically, people who can't play very well.
Yeah.
And then they get better, or they stop, you know?
Yes. What do you think about reggae music, about Bob Marley? Are you into that?
I never got into reggae that much. I like Bob Marley, though, but there were so many bands that started copying them.
Yes.
You know, that, see, there again, the business, you know, hey, this is happening, let's do that.
Yes.
Well, Van Halen has never done that, you know, we just do what we do.
Yes.
In a funny way, we're the only band that could compare it only to itself.
Yes, definitely.
You know?
That's great.
They compare us to the era with Sammy or the era with Roth, you know? Well, this is Van Halen 3, and this is the best the band has ever been, and you will see it when we come on the 20th.
Okay, what about, you know, your favorite album? You know, when you look back at your career of albums.
My favorite one is Still Yet to Be Made.
Really, that's a good answer. Okay, what about song?
At the same time, you know, it's like 13 albums. I have 13 children, and I love them all, and they're all a little bit different.
Okay. You know, what about a song? Is there any song that you like to play or perform special in any shows, the one that you never leave out?
Well, there's always some staple songs that are hits that you have to play.
Okay.
But those are not necessarily my favorite.
Exactly. I'm talking about your favorite. The ones that, you know, I want to go to the show and know when you're really tripping in your head, you know. I know you do it the whole show.
It changes from night to night, you know. It's when the magic hits, it hits, you know, and you never know when it's going to hit.
Okay. And, you know, guitar solos, you know.
Yeah, well.
The same thing.
Right now, it's in I do it in the middle of a song called A Year to the Day, and that's a pretty special moment.
Okay. When you're writing your music, which I know you write pretty much all the songs, you know.
Yeah, well, I don't even know where the ideas come from. I mean, the man upstairs, you know, God gives the ideas to me.
Okay, and you don't really sit down and say, well, now I'm going to write. You're just playing the whole day in your house and you come out with some leads and that's it.
I play all the time, and even on tour, I carry a little studio with me. And I just play, and after a while, things happen.
Okay, you know, when you know a song is finished, when you know you finished writing this song?
When the whole band is happy with it,
Okay, so you bring it in, and then everybody starts hearing it and collaborating, and then this is it. Okay.
We change a thing here and there, and we cut a part shorter here, and we just it's like making soup,
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a little about Dave. Okay. When is the first time he told you he was gonna leave the band? Because I think that's the way it was, right?
Yeah, he quit.
You couldn't believe it, or you knew he was coming?
Yeah, I was in shock.
You were in shock.
Yeah.
So why he did that? Why do you think he did that? He thought he was really making it his own.
Yeah, he thought that we were his backup band,
Yeah.
And well, he was wrong.
Definitely. And you prove it coming out with the second CD and selling more albums than.
And Sammy was the same way. He quit also.
He quit also.
Yeah, he wanted to go back to being a solo artist, and I said, okay, fine.
Incredible. What happened the second time David came? See,
the only reason I asked Dave to do 2 songs, actually it was just supposed to be 1 song, and it turned into 2. Sammy wanted nothing to do with the best of.
Okay.
Volume 1. And I didn't want to put some garbage on it, so I went to put some new stuff on it. And just out of the blue, Dave called me for the first time in years, because he wanted to know how he was going to be represented on the best of record.
Oh, okay.
Okay? And we started talking on the phone, and it seemed like he had changed a little bit,
Okay.
Like a little bit humble, because...
Yeah. No, because he was doing nothing.
Well, he was doing Vegas.
Yeah, I saw the Leno or the Letterman show, and
that was pathetic.
He was fucked up. I couldn't believe it.
I know, it was...
He took out bong hits and stuff. I just couldn't believe he did that, man.
That was pretty embarrassing.
It was. So, pretty much after that, you...
Well, see, look, all the years that Dave and us worked together, we were never really friends,
Yeah.
He joined the band because he had a PA system,
Yeah.
And it just seemed to work for all those years. But his attitude stunk, He was never really a friend.
And I understand.
He was very egotistical, very demanding, and but we didn't want to make waves because it was our life, and we were making it,
Yeah.
But when he quit, it came as quite a shock. But and then Sammy joined the band, and Sammy, we pretty much saw it coming, because even during For All Awful Carnal Knowledge, he didn't want to tour.
Oh my God.
And it just stopped being a band.
Yeah.
And in between every Van Halen record, he would do some kind of solo project or something. Well, hey, if you want to be a solo artist, go be solo.
How could they not see, the great thing that was going on? I can't understand that.
Well, everything happened. Well, because it's better now. Everything happens for a reason.
That's great. I'm happy you're happy, Eddie, because I'm a big fan of yours, And
happier now than I have ever been, and
that's great.
Gary is the man.
That's great, man. What's up? Excuse me, I go back to Dave. The second time he comes in, you guys did the MTV thing. Remember that, right?
Well, see, he was never intended to be. He was never even in the running to be a permanent replacement.
Really? So it was just for these 2 songs in the album, and he did that for promo. Why he went with you to...
See, that was MTV again. We had to do that. They told us that if we don't, it's all politics.
Okay.
First, I missed taking my son to his first day of school.
Yeah.
Because I had to go to fucking New York to do this bullshit.
I understand. Wow, it's incredible how media takes it out, man, and you hear it.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you and I see it so clear. I can't believe they.
It was all very simple. I mean, we put out a press release that said we're currently in the studio doing a song, maybe 2, for the best of Volume 1, and are currently looking for a permanent replacement, and it was not Dave.
And Eddie,
I told Dave.
When you went to the studio, didn't you think, I'm sorry I asked you this, how great could this tour be with him, even though he's so crazy,
It's impossible.
It's impossible.
The guy can't sing anymore.
Oh, really? He did too many of it,
In the studio, maybe, yes, but live, I tell you, some things are better left to memory.
It's true. That's true. My father always says that.
It would not. It wouldn't have worked because the guy just he's out. You know, he's out there. He's
Yeah. He could, get out in the middle of the tour, and that would be worse.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
But we never intended on getting back together with him. It was just for the best of,
Okay. Going to your brother, I think you guys are an example of a great family and a great relationship. Is you and Al that close as it look?
We are more than brothers. We're best friends.
That's great. That I think society needs an example like that. And you guys are giving it, day by day, and it's beautiful, man.
Oh, thank you very much.
That's really very important for me. When I'm the owner of this paper, and I'm really for the passion too.
Yeah, growing up, all we had was each other.
I don't have brothers or sisters, so I appreciate when I see that.
Yeah, I understand.
And in the business you always, I think that the video jump, and that year at '84 that you came out in the MTV thing.
Yeah.
That took you. You were always a great guitarist, but when you were showing your face, you have a charisma and an aura that not too many guitar players have.
Well, I think because I don't act, I don't know how.
Exactly.
I'm just myself,
And I'm telling you, the way people talk about you in the street is incredible. I don't hear from any other musician, man.
I can't wait to come to Puerto Rico because this tour we have gone places that the previous singers never wanted to go to. We started the tour in New Zealand and Australia, and we're going to Alaska. We're going to Puerto Rico for the first time. We're going to places we've never been.
Eddie, I'm gonna promise you something. I know you play it a lot, but you're never gonna hear 10,000 guys scream so loud like September 20, man.
Well, I hope we have enough sound system so they can hear us.
You're gonna be getting off from Puerto Rico.
Pardon?
Are you bringing anything down? Only your amps?
I'm not sure what production we're bringing. I don't know. That's not my business either.
Okay, but you don't have to be worried. This big show's coming.
No. I mean, Scotty Ross, our tour manager, he's been there many times.
Okay, that's great. So, I'm getting to the end of the interview, and you've been very kind, man. What's your favorite pastime? When you're not playing the guitar and you're not with your family, what do you like to do? Are you into sports? You see Jordan, what he did?
I don't really have the time. All I do is make music.
Okay, so that's your pastime. You don't really do anything else besides that?
Well, I play baseball with my son. I do family things. But
how old is your son now?
7 years old.
7. Okay. What about the movies? Are you into movies?
I don't have the time.
You don't have the time, even to go to get a movie and rent it and see it. You don't do that either.
No, very rarely.
Okay.
Maybe 2-3 times a year.
Okay. What's up with what do you like to eat, man, when you're hungry? What's your favorite meal?
Wow, I eat anything.
Anything.
Yeah.
You're not into vegetarian or none of that?
Food for me is like gasoline. I just need it to stay alive.
Okay. Eddie, what have you learned from all these years in the business, that I know you don't like to call business?
Well, I've learned...
That you put in your life, in your personal life, because I'm hearing somebody very relaxed and very happy, man.
Yeah, well, I've really learned that I have still a lot to learn.
And, the logo of Van Halen, the VH thing, it's a great logo. It's been there for so long, and you can never change it. Who designed it?
Actually, Alex did.
Yeah, I thought it was one of you. He looks very, he's very proud of your name, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Well, and why your guitar, the design it has, the red and the white and black stripes, is there any meaning to that?
Stripe guitar? Oh, hold on one second, okay?
Yes.
Hi.
Yes.
Well, I designed first the Music Man guitar, and then I thought that I owned the guitar, but we had a falling out, so now I designed the EVH Wolfgang, which is made by Peavey.
The little one, right?
No, it's a regular guitar.
Yeah, but I'm talking I'm not. I wasn't gonna go into the technical thing of the guitars, but I'm talking about why they're red and with the white stripes and black stripes. Because
I don't know.
That's very unique of yours,
Yeah, I don't know. It was a crazy day, and I just felt like painting a guitar, and that's how it ended up looking.
Okay, man. Coño Eddie, that's pretty much it. It's been great talking to you. You're a very great person, man.
Well, so are you, Luis.
I really enjoyed this, and I hope you have a great show.
We're very, very much looking forward to playing Puerto Rico.
That's great, and I hope you have a good sound check today. I know you're going to do sound check in Chicago. Where are you playing at? At the Chicago Bulls place?
No. We're playing an outdoor place, I think, called Alpine Valley.
Okay, there's a question. What do you like to play better, outdoors or indoors?
It depends. It depends on the type of building if you're inside. Because if it's inside and it's a bad building, the echo and the reverb can be very bad.
Okay, suppose you have the best conditions outside and inside. Which one you like to play better?
Actually, it doesn't really matter.
You don't care?
Wherever people come and they like us and we play, we have a good time.
Okay, Eddie, favorite bands, if you have to hear some music rather than yours, what rock and roll band do you like to hear?
Oh, God, I like Peter Gabriel. I like everything from Peter Gabriel to AC/DC.
Oh, really?
I have I listen to a lot of classical music. I listen to Yo-Yo Ma, the cellist, and I don't know. For one, I rarely listen to anything because I don't have the time.
Okay, that's why you are Eddie Van Halen, man.
I'm always making music that the man upstairs gives me,
That's great. One more question. My favorite show is Behind the Music in MTV. It's a great show, there's great stories like Leonard Skinner, like Stevie Ray Vaughan, great stories. The whole thing since they started their careers. You never been called to do this?
Well, our career isn't over yet.
I know, but there's so much history in it, and it's great. But
I feel like we're just starting.
That's awesome. So we're gonna hear a lot of Van Halen still.
Oh, we're starting a new record in January, and we'll be on tour again next summer.
So, it sounds like you make albums to tour. You love that.
Oh, I have so much music, it would blow your mind.
That's great, Eddie, man. I'm not going to take no more time of yours. Very nice to meet you and to talk to you, and you're a very humble person, and that's what makes you Eddie Van Halen, man.
Oh, don't ever forget where you came from.
That's very important. And thank you, okay?
You can lose everything in the drop of a hat,
Yes, it's true.
So don't ever forget where you come from.
Thank you for being so kind with me, man.
So come backstage and say hello.
I will.
As for Scotty Ross.
Yes. Have a great show, man.
Hey, I have to go now.
Take care.
Bye-bye, Luis.
Bye-bye, yes.